Hey guys, welcome to DotNetCrunch, and today we'll be looking at data types in TypeScript. This is a part 3 of our TypeScript tutorial series. So without wasting further time, let's dive into Visual Studio. And I have created a datatypes.ts file in our project with a folder named TypeScript. So if you are wondering why these two files are there, you may refer to our earlier videos of TypeScript series, in which we have demonstrated TypeScript installation and variable declaration. So I'll give the link in I button in case you want to watch them. Okay, so let's start with this video. So basically there are three categories of data types in TypeScript. So I'll write over here. So first is any, then we will look at built-in data types, and after that user-defined data types. Okay, so these further, like in built-in data types and user-defined data types, we have subtypes, like what kind of built-in data types there are in TypeScript, supported in TypeScript, and what kind of user-defined data types you can create. So let's write them as well over here. So built-in data types are string, number, type, Boolean, undefined, null, and void. So these are these comes under built-in data types which are supported in TypeScript. Let's move to user-defined data types. User-defined data types are those wherein like you can define the data with the help of which are allowed in there to hold the values of particular type in TypeScript. So basically user-defined data types, the kind of data types which fall under this category are array, interface, class, union, enum, and tuple. Okay, so this is pretty much like about the data types which we will be covering in this video. So let's start with any data type. So any data type is a very superset basically of all the available data types in the TypeScript. So whenever we are declaring any variable, like we have seen in our earlier video, like we declare a variable with a let keyword, and we give here we need to give the type of the variable and then the assignment, right? So over here, like ABC, this is the way how we declare a variable with a type, right? Let me check this. So if we do not define this type and we give it as an any, like suppose this is something my dynamic value, this is some value which I'm not sure what data type it would be, like I'm getting it from some web service or something else. So this kind of value I'm not aware whether it is a string, a number, or something like that. So what I can when I'm not sure about the data type, we can use any. So any is a superset basically of all available data types, right? So this is the way how we declare a variable with a data type. So the name of the variable, colon, and the type of the variable and the value. Okay, so let's move further. Like this is about the any keyword, any category of data type. So further we will be moving into built-in data types. So as we have noted over here, there are 6 built-in data types which are supported in TypeScript. So let's look at the string one first. So let me define one string variable. Let x equals x of type string, and I'm writing here TypeScript is great. Okay, so this is how I define a string. So my x, the variable x is of type string, right, in double quotes, and you can also define it in a single quote. Y of type string equals to learn TypeScript basics on with DotNetCrunch. Yep. So this is how, like, over here, actually, sorry guys, I have a habit of putting double quotes. So here we can this is perfectly valid string, both in single quote and double quotes. So this is how we declare a string type variable. Now let's move to a number. So if in case number is just an integer, so in case we want to define an integer values, we want to store an integer value, so we can use number. Basically it represents integer data type, and it supports decimal, hexadecimal and binary literal. So let's have a look at it. So let again have a variable a. I'm not following the naming convention for the variables, but you guys can use that. So I'm just for the demo purpose, I'm putting any variable names. Okay, so let a of type number, and we can hold as an integer 8, perfectly fine. So let b of type number, I'm holding I just want to hold a decimal value in this, so let me hold a value of pi 3.14. This is also perfectly fine in this. If we were to write this in a C#, so it has to be a decimal rather than int, correct? So in TypeScript, the number type of data type holds all the values which are decimal, hexadecimal, binary, literal or octal, right? So those can be, we can store those values over here. Now moving to the next, which is Boolean. That is pretty straightforward. It represents true or false. So if you want to set some flag, is admin or something like that, if a user is admin user, or if is flag true or false, I want to check that. So I can have a variable of type Boolean, and I can assign a value or get it dynamically from some program or some function, and I'll check that value in function, and accordingly I can write my logic statements. So this is the way you define a Boolean and assign a value to it, so it can be true or false, right? After that, we need to check like undefined, null and void. Those are also built-in data types in TypeScript. So I'll just minimize reduce this window, as we are not running anything over here. We don't need to see any output. It's just the declaration part, which is pretty straightforward. Okay, so now coming to undefined. Undefined is a primitive value. Like when variable has not been assigned a value, we can use that undefined. And while null is also a primitive value which represents null, like when a particular variable is empty or it doesn't have any reference, right? So that time we can have value of null to that variable. Let me define one variable, let's say ABC, and point it as a null. So this is perfectly fine, correct? So, and after that, in order to differentiate, I'll show you one picture using that. Like I found that on imgur, so you will be able to differentiate between null, undefined, and non-zero value. Okay. After this, we have a void, data type of void, which is the last in built-in data type segment. So that's void is like in C# and Java, we use void as a written type, right? Like when a function does not return anything, we use void keyword, right? It's the same thing in TypeScript, and it is also a subtype of undefined. So void type can have undefined or null as value, whereas it cannot have any value. Like the void type can have undefined or null as a value, whereas never cannot have any value. So there is one more data type called never. So there's basically a difference between never, xyz of type never. This is also perfectly fine in TypeScript. But if we define a variable as let a pqr of type null or undefined, I'll say undefined. So when pqr we have a like, so void like we are discussing about void over here. So the void type can have a value of undefined. So if we define some variable as a void, so it can have a value of undefined, that is fine. It can also have a value of null, that is also fine, but it cannot have a value as never. That is not allowed, right? See here, it gave us the error. Never only refers to a type, but it is being used as a value. So that's what I was trying to show you, the difference. Okay. So guys, I think we are running short of time as this video is concerned. Like it's a bit lengthy video now. So I think let's cover this user defined data types in another series 4, part 4 of this TypeScript tutorial, because I know people get bored watching lengthy videos. So I think around 15 minute, my plan was to keep 10 to 15 minute videos per I wanted to explain the concepts within this duration, like 10 to 15, so it's easier for you guys to watch it at one sitting. So if the videos are more than that, like half an hour, 1 hour, so people get distracted over that. So that's why in that interest, I'll cover the user defined data types, all these 6 data types in next series. So if you like this series and you want me to create more such series of other topics like Deno, SQL Server, C#, you can comment below and let me know your feedback, how the series are going, and if they are beneficial to you or not. You can comment that as well. If you like the video, then please subscribe to our channel and keep supporting us so that we can create more such videos and feel motivated. Thank you guys. Let's meet up in another series. Till then, have a good day, good time, happy coding.